This thing on? Oh.
Hi.
So I know you're at the grocery store right now, but
I'm not there yet.
oh, all right. So we're live to thousands of people, and I just wanted to have you introduce yourself for
You
life
better
math.
stop.
For
You
life
better
math.
stop it.
Are you ready?
Wait. No, I'm not. Can't stand you right now. Porter Lori, I need to call you better.
And just like that, we're on episode 1. It's going down. And what's dope is that she's still gonna love me when she gets home. But I swear to God, if she doesn't get the right Girl Scout cookies, I'm gonna make her wear the ugly apron to cook me dinner in. Relax. That was a joke and a test to see if you're cut out for this podcast, because I'm gonna say all kinds of dumb shit. I'm also gonna say some enlightened shit. But, sometimes it'll be on purpose, sometimes it'll be on accident. Either way, holler at me if you agree or disagree, because although it's one-sided when I record, I have no plans on it remaining that way. This is gonna be a conversation whether you or I like it or not, but we're gonna like it. So how should I start this? I think I should start off by letting you in on some of the basic points of view that I hold dear. Number 1, I have biases, and I am admittedly ignorant about things I haven't been exposed to. But that's part of the point to all this. Exposure and education for me and for you. Number 2, I do think racism is funny. I do not think actual racists are funny. Racism is funny to me because it's so incredibly low-bred and low frequency that I think it's okay to make fun of people that are actually racist. It's okay to make fun of basic. That's really what I'm saying. Number 3, the same goes for any of the phobias against homosexuality, Islam, women, trans community, etc. We all know the long list. Again, it can be funny, but only if we all know that the person making the joke is actually not truly against any of those folks in real life. That person, in this case, is yours truly. And I'll tell you right now, I'm okay with everybody, unless you believe in taking away the rights of others. Then you're trash and possibly dangerous. Number 4, on a lighter note, my father passed away years ago, and he and I didn't really have a relationship. So I have kind of created myself out of this idea of masculinity that's a quilt-like patchy blanket of sewn together ideas and images that I've gathered from books, TV, movies, my mother, girlfriends, guy friends, music, artists, and also just my empathy towards humanity, because even the people I despise, I can empathize with. So ideas, thoughts, misgivings, new approaches, and outdated approaches to masculinity will definitely pop up, because exploring what that is and isn't is interesting to me. And whether you're a man, woman, gay, straight, somewhere outside of those parameters, a parent, not a parent, there's something to learn, and I'm here for it. All of it. I want all the smoke. So you should know that for better or worse, I have not listened to a lot of podcasts. I've listened to some friends' podcasts a few times, and the crazy murder detective podcasts about real life shit that scares the hell out of me and makes me side-eye my neighbors when I see them. But maybe, Maybe when they're in their garages, they're just stacking mulch. I don't know. Either way, I got my eye on them. But let me get back to the point. And that point is, I do and don't know what the hell I'm doing. Listen, I've worked in television my entire adult life and sat through tens of thousands of hours of interviews. I've basically been a high-paid listener for 20 years, and the shit's paid off in ways I never have thought of till now. I do know how to speak in full sentences to get my point across. I may or may not do that here, but I know it's important. I do know what a good soundbite is and how to pull it out from someone. I may or may not understand how to get those same hot bars out of myself and onto this podcast, but I'm gonna try. The point is, well, not the point before, but the current point, which would be my post point to the previous point, is that we don't need to know what the fuck we're doing to actually do something. Anything, actually. I'm not going to get political right now, but I want to point out the fact that we literally just had a president, the highest office in the land, in control of the largest military in human history, who had never even sat on city council or been a fucking cross guard at a Catholic school, for that matter. The guy is trash, but that's beside the point. He did just go in there and do it. Now, I'm positive that there's other examples, but honestly, that's the craziest example of fake it till you make it I've ever witnessed. And so I thought long and hard about this podcast, not the specifics of it, but the why of it. Because I don't enjoy my time being wasted by others or myself. That's why I've never been very good at small talk, which often leads to friendships. Thus, why my friend count is kind of small. That's all right. But before I came up with one idea for what to talk about, I had to really understand why I wanted to do this. And here's why. I've been three things the majority of my life. Number one, I've been creative. Number two, I've been outspoken. Number three, I have been a professional audio mixer and supervisor for television. Now, for those who don't recognize the one kid that's doing his own thing out of those three, let me help you out. The first two things I mentioned involve openly sharing your thoughts, your opinions, your experiences, manifestations, and your life in general with the world. The third thing involves silently spending 12 to 15 hours a day, 75% of your year, recording the thoughts, opinions, experiences, manifestations, and lives of others. Now, don't get me wrong. You'll hear from my stories that I've had many awesome experiences that most people don't get to have as a result of my profession. So I'm not knocking it, but I am saying that it's directly gone against my nature to spend that much time being quiet and focusing on other people. Call me selfish. After spending the majority of my adult life traveling around the world, recording others, I think it's time I added my own ingredients to the mix and see what gets cooked up. Now, on a side note, so oftentimes during Life Math, I'm going to say we when referring to, an action or an idea of mine. I know a lot of you are going to think, I don't feel the same way, so I don't know who this we is. Just relax. Cool your jets. My we's are for the people who may feel the same way or adjacent to my thoughts. It's like in LA. It's like living in Mid-City Wilshire or Pico and Robertson and saying you're Beverly Hills adjacent. It's a completely different life, but you're close enough to smell the good shit they throw away, and that's more than most of the world. so you have the right to form an opinion. But now I got that out of the way. I think that we all too often are willing to do just about anything to provide ourselves some sense of comfort in life, even if that means dimming our bulbs. And that's what I've done. And I think it's a shame. It's okay. I got my, I'm following my path. But, Jim Carrey once said, you can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love. Now, on the other side of that, the unknown side that folks may not always recognize is the amount of intention and bravery it takes to do things differently. Living different than how you were raised, how your family is living, how your friends are living, and most of all, how you're expected to live. Expectations from the outside are tough to deal with. There's a million images, quotes, TV shows, songs, influencers, and celebrities that will show you that you're not living your best life, or that you can always live it better. And better is always based on their standards. I'll be honest, people who blame the media for all their insecurities and basis for disinformation are lame. And they're basically revealing that their own standards of critical thought and self-analysis are lacking. But as someone who's been on unscripted TV since the beginning, I can tell you that it's way more powerful than we thought it was going to be. And now the creators know how powerful it is, so there's no accidents when it comes to what's being put in front of you. Now, all that being said, you still need to think for your damn self. Stop allowing outside forces to dictate your own expectations. And by you, I also mean me. Even without thinking, I can name the outside forces that created my inside forces that I've allowed to then create more stress in my life than I care to admit. My mother, she was my first outside force. She's an amazing woman, but I knew at a pretty young age that what I wanted wasn't going to come from her. Whether that be knowledge of the world, knowledge of finances, knowledge of relationships. She's many, many amazing things, but not a dependable resource for any of those. So by the time I was 16, I knew she wasn't, and I struck out on my own to create my own luck. My friends. A lot of my friends growing up had more money than me, more opportunity, more guidance, more resources. And the friends of mine who didn't, they didn't have shit. And that influenced me as well. Again, I had to look around and see what worked and what didn't. I was really fortunate, extremely, that a lot of things I was willing to do for money, I saw others do first and get crushed in the process, from prison to death and everything in between. And I was also fortunate to get away with what I did do. That had little to do with my choices and everything to do with luck. I just was destined for different shit. Now, as an adult, I'm the only one of my close friends to not own a home or have children. In my 30s, that was a huge issue. And it also lent to my willingness to keep doing unsatisfying work. I hated the silencing of my spirit, but it paid the bills. It allowed me to travel and also escape. It also just gave me a sense of being able to show some sort of stability to my friends and family. I was showing that I was an adult, or at least adult adjacent. There's tons more outside influences, but those will work for this discussion. Because once I turned 40, all bets were off. And my fucks dwindled rapidly. My fucks disappeared from areas of my life that I didn't even know fucks existed. But, while removing all your fucks sounds liberating, there are some fucks, like paying the bills, loving people, that will fuck you if you try and remove them from the list. So it was really in my 40s that I started filtering my fucks in an attempt to unfuck myself. I think that's enough for episode 1. Yeah? Let's keep it there. Let's stick to that. I feel like there's probably way more to unpack in regards to what I think we're willing to sacrifice spiritually for a false sense of security. Because how secure, how responsible, how mature are we if what we're doing doesn't serve the best of what we have to offer? We need to encourage each other to find the things we feel good about in life and bring them to the light. Don't yuck each other's yum. Big up the next person. Be vocal. Be supportive. Help them be brave. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in thinking the world needs more of that, but it starts with us every day. So I'll leave you with some words from my other half, the woman I share my life with, my ace, every single day.
I just think all of this is because you're coming into your time of abundance, and you have to be able to see and believe that it can be that easy.
Right.
This podcast is not overnight. You've been putting these pieces together for 5 years.
Right.
Since you've been here. To me, it's so organic and it's so freeing and wonderful to see you leaning in to what you should be doing. And it's not about, you just have to go out and do the work and keep the faith.
Woo, man, won't she do it? So, if you like what you heard today, leave a comment, leave a like, follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, under Porter Lori, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. Be good.